Welcome to Miss Math Presents Geometry SOL Prep G4 Constructions. The first thing you'll look for constructions is whether it's a cut or a copy. If it's a cut, you could have a bisector, either perpendicular or angle bisector, or you may see a perpendicular through a point on the line or through a point not on the line. If it's a copy, you'll see two figures, and it could be copy an angle or copy a line segment. Then we have our oddball construction that really doesn't fit into either one. A parallel line looks like a cut and a copy because our copy is connected to the original figure. We're going to take a quick look at the basic steps of each construction. For copy a line segment, we have another line that's drawn out, and then using the compass to measure the first line segment, without stretching the compass any further, we go ahead and make another swipe on our other line. So our copy is going to be from the left end of this line up to where that swipe is. So this is what copy a line segment looks like. A perpendicular bisector is where we take the compass point on either end of our line segment and then we make a swipe through, and what's going to end up looking like a football. Then we're going to connect each end of that football. When we do that, that creates a perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular through a point on the line looks similar, but if you notice here, the first step is to make a swipe on either side of the point. This gives you kind of your end points like we did in the last construction to create a perpendicular bisector. You're really only bisecting these two swipes, not the whole line. So from there, the steps are the same. We have our football and our connecting line. So that's perpendicular through a point on the line. Now you notice through the point on the line, this point is now on both lines. That shows it was on the original line and the one that we draw through, the perpendicular line that we draw through it. Perpendicular through a point not on the line starts out with two small swipes on the line itself. Then we repeat the steps. From those swipes at those intersections, we make our football, connect the ends, and you see this is perpendicular through a point not on the line. We can tell this point is not on the line because it's not at the intersection, so it was not on the original line to start with. For an angle bisector, we'll see a swipe. Then, from those intersections on the swipes, these are where the pointed end of the compass would go, and we make two small swipes in the middle, so we have an X directly in the middle of that angle. Now, from the vertex through the X, we draw our line, and that bisects the angle. To copy an angle, we start out with the side of the new angle. We make a swipe through the original, then a swipe through the new line and go out a little ways. The compass will measure from intersection to intersection on the original angle, and we can make a swipe to show that we've measured that correctly. Then we're going to repeat by putting our pointed end here, making a swipe to show that that's the same distance. From there, we can start at our vertex point here, go straight through, and voila, we have copied the angle. A parallel line through a point not on the line. This is probably our most complex of our constructions. For a parallel line through a point not on the line, the first thing you do is draw a line through the point down to and through the line below it. So you don't really want this as like a 90-degree angle. We're going to have that slanted a little ways. So let's try one like this. From here, the steps are just like copy an angle. So we start out with our swipe, repeat the swipe, use the compass to measure. We make a little swipe for the X, repeat the little swipe, and connect the line. So we now have our parallel line through a point not on the line. This has been a brief overview of G4 constructions. For more in-depth tutorials on how to actually create the constructions, please see some of my other videos. Thanks for watching G4 Constructions Geometry SOL Prep with Ms. Math. See you next time.